Hi everyone, Mike the MC, bringing you the self-care video. You're going to get hit anyway. Now I think this is a very powerful theme for many areas of our lives, and I think it's a very powerful self-care tip. And where do I get this metaphor from? And so I get it from football, and I always like to watch with my dad, my family, and when we watch the games we like to commentate. We like to talk about how the games are going and, just having a little bit of fun, right? Just enjoying Sundays when football season's back. So that's where this originates. But during those conversations, right, when we have our discussions about players and stuff, one of the things that always comes to mind is a lot of these players, they will not go for the completed catch, and they flinch and they go, oh my gosh, don't hit me, right? They don't want to get hit by the defender, and it's like, they're going to get hit anyway. They're in pads, so you might as well catch the ball anyway. You're going to get hit anyway. And that's where this is coming from. So it's like, if you want to have something to show for your effort, it would be nice if you actually catch the touchdown and you actually complete the pass by you catching the ball anyway. So why not complete the process and just have this over with, so that way it's all okay. But really, that metaphor could be taken to different areas of life, thinking even in different broader situations. So for example, when you're out trying to find maybe some job, right, you got to go out and you got to send that application to many different places through the media, talking with other people, word of mouth, right? And you're just going through all these different ways of finding a job. And yeah, it's miserable. Yeah, it's not fun. Yeah, it's not fun, and it's so tedious to get this application out for you to find a job. And then you go through the interviews, then you go through the follow-up interviews, and then you finally have to pick. And so through all of that process, right, you have to be confident that you're going to emerge from that situation with the goal achieved in mind. You got to make sure that you don't give up on yourself, right? You're going to get hit anyway. Might as well catch the ball anyway. And so keeping that kind of mindset in mind, I think it is very powerful. And just, it helps you recognize, okay, life will be full of pain. It's going to be full of pain, and people will not like you or I in many different parts of our lives. And this can, let me extend it to other areas of life, right? With relationships. How many of us are going to get burned so many times with so many no's from the girls and guys, people that we're trying to talk with, and we're just trying to have a relationship in the back of our minds to get going, but at the same time, don't forget, having fun and all these other parts of relationships have to take place, right? And then, okay, later on down the years, if you make it that far, okay, considering where y'all will live, considering the relationship standards, considering kids, and all these other factors, right? What church you'll go to if you are religious, and where you want to have your work, and you just are going to get hit anyway. So you might as well catch the ball, right? So it goes back to that theme. All right, you want to go and build your business? All right, you got to go and find a location. You got to go find an idea. You got to go find some way of building your reputation. You got to find media. You got to find resources. You got to find ways to get your information out to the world in like this kind of setting, right? I had to go and find 1, 2 cameras, right? Then find the stands. I had to find ways to save the videos on the memory drive, right? And then put them onto my computer. But then finding ways to use a content creator to make these videos, right? So I've had to go through so many steps. And then not even that, getting into the actual YouTube, actually saving it on the actual channel, right? Making it workable, visible even for people who want to know when the premiere will be, right? You're going to get hit anyway. And right, I know the theme is just continuing on, but that's how I'm going to drive this point home because it's so relevant. All right, you want to go now and possibly pass a certification or pass a degree, right? All right, spend some time in college, spend some time to pass a certification. You're going to stay up with a lot of past midnight, and all the burning the midnight oil, right? You're going to just use a lot of energy to get what you want to do to pass, right, for your exams, to get your degree, to work with other students, right, other people who want to work together on projects, and all these different factors that go into play with your education and your school. And the certifications in life, it extends to this because it's like, okay, I'm going through one right now where I want to find a certification that program that I want to pass. But I'm going through all this time right now, going through my Word documents as far as saving the information, studying, passing those practice exams, and then just moving forward in the process. But it's tedious, it's long, and it's like, oh my gosh, will this ever end? But that's the thing. I'm going to get hit anyway. And so the thing is, to help you through all of these examples, is that you want to have the prize that you can see at the end of the tunnel in your mind right here, right now. You want to keep that visual in your head, right? Remembering, okay, I'm going through all this pain to obtain this goal. And now this will be interesting in the comments. How many of you have been burned by an employer, by someone who was promising all these grand ideas to you? A toxic, narcissistic boyfriend, girlfriend, right? A toxic coworker, a toxic person, a toxic idea that eventually put you behind in so many different areas because you gave up so much of your resources, right? That's the risk. That's the risk of what you and I have to face when we are going for some of these incredible tasks in mind, some of these incredible goals that we have that we want to achieve. Now, share in the comments if you're willing to, but what's it like? It feels horrible. It feels terrible to get burned and to be left behind when you were really trying to push and acquire that goal that you wanted to achieve. And you felt that the time was wasted. You failed the exam. You failed getting your time ready for your kids, right? Going out with a boyfriend, a girlfriend, right? You were burned. You were ghosted. You were left behind at the restaurant. You were left all behind, right? You're gonna get hit anyway. See what I'm saying? Life is just gonna throw these different things at you, these different obstacles, but it will throw the bat and whack you at times even, and it's like, oh my gosh, that was so painful. Why did I have to go through some pain right now? Well, they say that there is joy when you find it in your life beyond the pain, but I tell you what, pain is horrible. How many of us want to keep going at our goal again and again and again? Right? That's real conversation. That's a real conversation as far as your resiliency, your determination, your ability to take a hit and keep moving forward. To take a hit, take a negative criticism on your reputation and keep moving forward. To be called out by other people now in your community because you were trying to do something, you failed, and now everyone's going to come after you and make fun of you and say, hey, I heard you were trying to start a business. It didn't go through, did it? Sorry, young man. Sorry, young lady. Better luck next time. You failed. Ain't it a pleasure for me because now your business failed and now I can get all your clients? Ain't that a joy? See, people are evil, man. People are just so ruthless. And when you find those ruthless people that are trying to rub the salt into the wound, they're just trying to get in and just trying to make you feel so, how do I put this, in a state of despair. They want to put you in a state of trauma where you're paralyzed. That is what you want to avoid. But when you recognize it, right, and you feel stuck, it's difficult, incredibly difficult to get out. And you're wondering, oh my gosh, will my life experience joy again? Will I come away from the situation with some lesson learned? I don't know, because if I can't, I'm going to feel like this forever. I feel stuck. And how do you get unstuck? How do you recognize that you have something within you that maybe you found again after some reflection? But how do you get unstuck, right? How do you snap your belief to getting back to an idea of, okay, let me try again. Okay, and so with this theme, that's what I'm trying to convey. You're going to get hit anyway. You dropped the ball. You didn't catch the touchdown. You failed at your attempt. All right, climb back on your feet. Go and run the route again. Go and try to master the craft. Master the discipline you want to obtain. Okay, you were burned several times. All right, someone was trying to make it a bigger thing than it had to be. Someone was saying, oh, you're being a creep. Why are you trying to talk to me? Or, hey, why did you go for that? You're just a fool. Don't even do what you're doing, right? Just stay down. You're foolish, right? You're naive. Don't do anything. And that's the thing. When the negative person is trying to keep you pinned, see, they know. They're very aware that you want to get back up, but they're trying to pin you down to the floor and say, oh, I want you to stay down and not try again. You're a waste of breath. You're a waste of energy. I don't want you to try this again. But you see, when you see that negative energy, you see that in a person, forget them. Move past them. Get away from that person. Get away from that job. Get away from that coworker. Get away from that boss. Get away from that toxic environment, toxic church even, right? There are many places, many things that I can share with you as far as people that have overcome incredible challenges in their life. And you would be surprised the institutions and what things are being done to people to keep them down, so that way they don't have their voice heard and their authenticity is destroyed. And all because they were hit when they were trying to catch the football. They dropped it, and now all of a sudden the defenders, the opponents, are trying to just keep them down because they saw that that receiver almost had the touchdown. They saw that that receiver almost broke away. They saw that the receiver almost got the first down. They recognize you and I are dangerous. They recognize you and I can make first downs and catch the touchdown. That we can help our quarterback. That we can help our dream thrive because we were believing in something that was so powerful. And when you recognize that you have the power to take it back to yourself, to say, hey, I'm going to get this accomplished, this dream, this goal. I recognize that I have something good in mind. I have a channel that I want to share with you all in my lifetime, even if it's not the most popular. I don't care. The fact is, I'm going to be here to stay hopefully for many years, because that is what motivates me to share these videos with you every day throughout my life. And if I'm able to continue that as a beautiful consequence, so be it. I am so happy because I have an engine going. My engine is moving forward. I've got it back on my feet, and every time I see a video that may not have the greatest responses or views, that's beautiful because I know that at least I can get on my feet again to create another one and try again and again and again. I will keep trying to catch the touchdown. I'm going to get hit anyway. And no matter what the criticisms are from any person that comes to my life, from me to you, let them do so and let them try. Life is precious, and our opponents, our critics, will face their own criticisms anyway, because what goes around comes around. And I know that you and I are going to be doing something great, and we're meant for something special. So we're going to get hit, so we might as well catch the football anyway. Alright everyone, hope this video finds you well. Let's go catch that football and get the first downs and the touchdowns. Let's scare our opponents and get back on our feet. Let's knock off our opponent who's trying to pin us down to the floor and say, hey, I'm back on my feet again. You better be prepared because I'm going to catch that pass and get that score. And you are going to be looking where I was once on the field and say, where did that receiver go? Boom, I scored. I scored, man. I scored, sucker. Right, I am now on the other side. I made it to the other side that you were trying to keep me from. Now I have the power and the control, and now you listen to my power and my goal, and I will dictate how this situation's going to go. You and I got this. We're going to make a difference. We got this. All right, everyone. I hope this video finds you well. Take care. Have a good one.